The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Gentlemen, take your marks. Set.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 408th episode of Track World with Alpheus Finlayson on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the road to Tokyo, and our team looks very good. Kudos to Shawnee Miller, Weibo, who will run the 200 meters, not the 400 meters. And we have Anthony Strawn, who is back, ladies and gentlemen. She was great in 2012 as the World Athletics great person. Well, kudos to Stephen Gardner, who is the World 2009 champion, and Wendell Miller, who at the young age set a new Bahamian record and was second to Stephen Gardner. Kudos also to Padua Seymour, who was sixth in the Rio Games, and the Charlton lady, who has the new Bahamian record, and she will be in the 110 hurdles at Tokyo. Well, I will give shout-outs. Oh, by the way, somebody called last time, and their number was 601-1483. My number is 432-9961, so later this evening you can call me. 432-9961. And I see several people already watching, and that's Lucretia Napa from the Washington area, and Claudine Thompson. They're watching right now, so I have to celebrate them. And watching also is Rolling Moss, and Idea Portia, who happens to be the mother of the president of the B3As. And let's see, this is Tuesday evening, and we're going to do all we can to excite you, to ignite you. Well, Track World is brought to us by Sun Oil, Arawak Homes, Sunshine Insurance, my bestseller book, From Vancouver to Athens, 50 years of Bahamian international track and field competition, Freeman DeVoe in Pairdale. And, well, of course, he is my good cousin. And we only have good cousins. And all around, Charlene Thompson from New Jersey is tuning in. Hello, Charlene. And we talk about in Kalina Insurance, where I have been a financial services representative for more than 40 years. My daughter, Alexis Hanna, is my business partner. Alexis and I make the A-team, A for Alexis and A for Alpheus. Then we're talking about we may be joined by the sports editor of The Guardian, Sheldon Longley. And we're going to our first break. And after our break, we will return and we will have much to talk about. But remember now, this is not a lecture series, so I want you to call in. And the numbers to call are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, and the text line, powered by none other than BTC, is 422-4796. I will say it one more time. The numbers to call are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And the text line, remember, the text line, you don't call the text line. You text it in, is 422-4796. And we now go to our short break.
Hello from the Shell Fuel Labs, where my team of dedicated scientists develop Shell fuels for your car.
For over 100 years, fuels innovation has been at the heart of everything we do.
Since our first ever branded petrol in 1907, we've broken records, supported Ferrari F1 to win Grand Prix, and pushed our fuels to the limit.
Now, every time you fill up your Shell, your engine will benefit from our passion for innovation, helping you to get the most out of every tankful.
With over 100 years of quality fuels innovation,
You can be sure of Shell.
I am Bernard F. Hanna. All of you should know me as this thing. I've got the very first copy from Vancouver to Athens. You know, I'm so excited because to be the one to have the first copy, I know what it was for Hawk for over the years, his dedication and his excitement, his commitment to bring this bestseller book to us. And I'm excited to have in my possession not only one copy, but two copies from Vancouver to Athens. 50 years of Bahamian International Track and the Field competition. This is great stuff. So I'm urging all of you to get your own copy. You could get it from Logos in the Harbor Bay, or Nassau Stationers on Rosetta Street, or Chapter 1 at COB, or at Coral News and Gifts in the domestic section of the Linden Pinland Airport. Let me tell you, man, you will never regret it. This kind of information that you get in this book is really invaluable. It's just terrific stuff. Good sports history, true and factual, you know. So I urge you, just go and get it and keep a copy and even give your friends a copy. And you know, more than one reason I am more excited about having this book. Look at page 200. And you will see me there in live and living color performing. Number 200, you will see Bernard F. Hanna performing, and that is my fulfillment, one of my big fulfillment of having this book.
As I said, we're back. And Sheldon Longley will join me from his editorial duties in a while. But a couple of things I want to talk about is number one, you all heard about the NC2As. You know that the NC2A students have given much money to these universities and colleges. And a move has started that they should get some of the profits. And I think it is the Supreme Court decided that they're not going to go that far now, but all of the athletes who participate will get something with regards to their studies and all of that. So anybody, Bahamian athletes or any other athletes, will be able to profit from what they do now. Now, the coaches are involved in what they do. They make a difference and all of that. But at some point, it's going to be as open as can be. Now, this is when the Supreme Court has to deal with something, it don't happen today or tomorrow. It does take some time. And with that in mind, I am just making a note that a young man passed last week, and forgetting the name, but he was third place in the London World Championships, where Stephen Gardner was the second place, and he was third place in the Doha World Championships, where Stephen Gardner won. He is from Qatar, and he had an accident, and with the accident, he got killed. And he was looking forward to going to Tokyo. You know, everybody is interested in going to Tokyo. Can you tell me, call in and tell me how excited you are about Tokyo, the whole Tokyo Games, and specifically Bahamians who will do well in Tokyo, the road to Tokyo. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you have your phones. I'm sure you can call in. The numbers to call are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Now, please call me. My good friend who always listens, all of them, please call me. They say they listen every night, but they must be shy. You know, shyness don't get you anywhere. I used to be shy in my youth, but I realized it don't get you anywhere. I turned 180 degrees around. I'll be waiting for somebody to call for 325-4259, 325-4316, 323-6232, and the text line is 422-4796, powered by BTC. Please call, please text, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody calling, nobody texting. Well, we go to another break.
Morning Blend Business.
The economy.
Finance,
Business.
Industry.
government sector, private sector,
Financial services.
Tourism.
personal finance,
Investing advice.
Consumer issues. Consumer rights.
trends and business opportunities.
Morning Blend Business. Following Morning Blend every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I am Bernard F. Hanna. All of you should know me as this thing. I've got the very first copy from Vancouver to Athens. You know, I'm so excited because to be the one to have the first copy, I know what it was for Hawk for over the years, his dedication and his excitement, his commitment to bring this bestseller book to us. And I'm excited to have in my possession not only one copy, but two copies from Vancouver to Athens. 50 years of Bahamian international track and the field competition. This is great stuff. So I'm urging all of you to get your own copy. You could get it from Logos in the Harbor Bay, or Nassau Stationers on Rosetta Street, or Chapter 1 at COB, or at Coral News and Gifts in the domestic section of the Linden Pinland Airport. Let me tell you, man, you will never regret it. This kind of information that you get in this book is really invaluable. It's just terrific stuff. Good sports history, true and factual, you know. So I urge you, just go and get it and keep a copy and even give your friends a copy. And you know, more than one reason I am more excited about having this book. Look at page 200, and you will see me there in live and living color performing. Number 200, you will see Bernard F. Hanna performing, and that is my fulfillment, one of my big fulfillment of having this book.
There comes a time when the game tolerates no spectators, only players. There comes a time when we must recognize that our individual aspirations shape our collective destiny. There comes a time when getting in the game, despite the risks, despite the challenges, regardless of the cost, is simply the right thing to do. There comes a time when we must find our hearts, find our soul, and pursue our purpose for the greater good of all, for country, for humanity. There comes a time when we must manifest our true greatness. Yes, there comes a time, and that time is now. So let's get down to the essentials. The essentials. Serious radio for serious people committed to advancing the national conversation.
The Essentials with Hubert Edwards, Thursday nights live at 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I am back, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to mention that there's quite a lot of competition coming up. There is I think a NACAC under the NACAC youth coming up soon, and I think that is somewhere in Central America. And then we're talking about, well, that is a NACAC event now. Everybody from Canada all the way to, I think it is Trinidad and that kind of place. And then we have an AAU meet in the United States that goes for younger children. And then we have the World Under 20 we're talking about Kenya. And we have a number of athletes who have already qualified for that. Some throwers and everything. And we have some, decathletes. I'm not exactly sure. So I am sure that Sheldon Longley can tell you a little more about that. But I'm saying the road to Tokyo. The road to Tokyo is something else. Tokyo, we're talking about the whole world now. Everybody in the world is going to be focused on Tokyo, whether it is swimming, whether it's gymnastics, whether it's, it's not just track and field. But I'll tell you one thing, track and field is the queen of the Olympic Games. The games don't start until track and field starts. So you are able to watch it on NBC, you are able to watch it on the Bahamian station, and you will enjoy it. Just make it a point that you watch the event, and you will be so proud. I don't know if you remember, we're talking about Sydney, when at 4 o'clock in the morning, Bahamians in the Bahamas were looking forward to that 4x100-meter race. Oh, man, and you couldn't. I'm talking about people all over the world, not just Bahamians, seeing the Golden Girls do their thing. And we were so happy. It is unbelievable. I was a member of the council then, and I decided not to stay around with the big-time people, because when you were the big-time people, you can't open your mouth. I'm a member of the council. I can play favoritism. So I went down to the start of the race, and I saw Rupert Gardner. I said, "Are your passes good?" He said, "Yes." But I said, if the passes are good, there is no way that the Bahamas would lose. And the Bahamas won. And I was so happy when we heard the Bahamian national anthem. I walked out to give the Golden Girls and the other ladies, the top three, their flowers. And it was so good. Oh, man, I don't know. I can't even remember what I did do, but I enjoyed myself. And anybody ready to call? Anybody ready to call? Once again, I talk about all the events that we've had. And guess what? Yesterday, we had a meet that people came in from far and near at their last day to qualify for Tokyo. Now, I don't know what happened, and I'm sure that Sheldon would give us an idea to what happened with the Bahamians and athletes from over the world. When you look at swimming, several people, Isaac Bastian made it, and one or two other people made it also. But I will tell you that people came from all over the world with swimming. People came from all over the world with track and field to compete at our nationals. And it is unbelievable. I don't know if you appreciate it. And the meet yesterday, it was hardly subscribed. And I just couldn't figure out what happened. It was at 5 o'clock, and we had some great competition, unbelievable competition. And I'm so disappointed that the people were not there. I don't know what it was at 5 o'clock. I have no idea why people were not there. But the events were very great. And as the people say, we're on the bubble to see what it is, because tonight we will know who qualified for those relays. And that's what we're talking about, on the bubble, because there are other athletes, other teams also wanted to make. Out of the 16, you have 16, and we will see what happens. Anybody ready to call? The numbers are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. My friend, something wrong with your phone, eh? You would try to call me at my cell number. The numbers to call, listening again, are 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And I'd like to put this plug in. With the meet over the weekend, we had a significant amount of sponsorships. A significant amount of sponsorship. One was Bahamas Harvest. One was, we're talking about Shell. And I'm sure the Sports Center people just did some things. And then there are other people I know that are just taking checks to Laura Pratt Charlton. And that's what it is. There are plenty of people in the Bahamas have money. And you watch and everything, but you don't contribute. We're not talking about $1 million. We're not talking about $50,000. If anybody can contribute $500, $1,000, or whatever else, it makes a difference. I could remember when we had the Scotiabank Olympic Games in 2008. Scotiabank came up with sponsorship, and it was just unbelievable. So I am watching and waiting to see if anybody who's going to call in. You don't have to call in and say you're going to give some money. You can say that and do that offline. But you can call in, and I say this is not a lecture series. This is a conversation. So please help me and tell me how you feel, what you're going to do. Please tell me how you feel and what you're going to do. And I'm going to go to another break. Because I don't like to talk. Like I enjoy talking, but I don't like to talk to myself. Thank you very much.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
More Smart Talk is coming to Guardian Radio. And so I'm inviting you to unleash your radio with me, Levan Miller, each weekday at 11, right here on Guardian 96.9 FM.
Beginning Monday, February 1st, you can catch Unleashed with Levan Miller weekdays at 11 a.m. here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Do you want an issue raised? We're on the clock. Do you want to share a solution? We're on the clock. Do you want to show your culture? Well, we're on the clock. On the Clock gives you the opportunity to share your concerns, questions, and solutions with the public. We dive into the stories, we identify the issues, we engage the people, organizations, and institutions that keep the country running. Beginning Monday, February 1st, On the Clock with Aaron Green, weekdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
And we're back on Trackwood. It looks as though somebody's calling. No, nobody's calling? Well, I can talk, and I will talk. My friend, you know who I'm talking about, who calls my cell phone to find out information. You know the number of the show, 425-4316, 425-4259. Please give me a call. You all know the lines for the show. And I'll just make one. The Olympic Association, they are looking, of course, for funding to assist the athletes in going to Tokyo. And I don't know when the government is going to step in. I didn't see many government people out at the Nationals. And I wonder, Tokyo, the road to Tokyo, and when the games happen, we are going to be so proud. But with the proudness, the government may want to take over. I don't know. they are due to make a contribution to our Olympic team. And if they don't, I don't know what they're thinking about. I have no idea what they're thinking about. Are they going to wait to make the contribution before the elections, after the elections, and whatever else? The government needs to come into play, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you think. I have no idea what you think. Bahamians are all over the world. With talent, I'm not talking about track and field, all over the world. And we don't give them the credit that we need. All over the world, I see. And I would wish for the support for track and field. Don't tell me all of them make a lot of money. Some make plenty money. Excuse me, some Bahamians make plenty money. And some of them do contribute. And you know some of the people that we're talking about, Giles Chisholm and all the rest of them, making plenty money and making a contribution to the Bahamas. You understand that the minister, I think it was the minister of tourism or somebody, went over to Miami. I think it was the minister of sports, yes. And they did a big thing at the game. And Jazz did well. So why do we have to wait to put not the infrastructure to ensure that we assist these athletes along the way? And we are all proud. We have Bahamian athletes here doing very well, and we have Bahamian athletes in the United States doing well, and we have a whole lot of Bahamian coaches in the Bahamas and all over the world. So I'm wondering what is happening. Are you excited? Are you here for the road to Tokyo? Or it doesn't mean anything about it. The people are asking if I am going to Tokyo. Well, I can't go to Tokyo. I may be able to fly to Tokyo and to lie down at the gate because they're not going to let me in there. I think whatever I have sufficient points to go to Tokyo. I don't even know if they would let me jump on the plane to go to Tokyo. It is a different thing. One of the things that, while we're talking, is that I have heard that it's a kind of bubble that they have, COVID and all of that. But I have heard, and I can't, I'll say this, I have heard that they're not going to do any testing. They're not going to be doing any anti-doping testing in Tokyo. And if that is the case, I just don't believe it. I go against that. Because that may be the one time that sufficient people slip in. All they're looking at is not having any COVID. So I don't know. Somebody has to tell me what will happen. I heard it, but it didn't get to me. I heard it, it didn't get to me. So we're going to have a wonderful Olympic Games. And, I work for myself. So I am able to watch it anytime I wish to watch it. And you can do it at home in the evening or early in the morning. And that's what I am talking about. And I surely hope that we have that opportunity to see Bahamians doing unbelievable things, just unbelievable things. And that's what I am talking about. All kinds of things happen. And with that in mind, I don't like to talk and talk and talk, so I'm going to take another break. And hopefully Sheldon is just about ready to come in.
More Smart Talk is coming to Guardian Radio. And so I'm inviting you to unleash your radio with me, Levan Miller, each weekday at 11, right here on Guardian 96.9 FM.
Beginning Monday, February 1st, you can catch Unleashed with Levan Miller weekdays at 11 a.m. here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
I am Bernard F. Hanna. All of you should know me as this thing. I've got the very first copy from Vancouver to Athens. You know, I'm so excited because to be the one to have the first copy, I know what it was for Hawk for over the years, his dedication and his excitement, his commitment to bring this bestseller book to us. And I'm excited to have in my possession not only one copy, but two copies from Vancouver to Athens. 50 years of Bahamian International Track and the Field Competition. This is great stuff. So I'm urging all of you to get your own copy. You could get it from Logos in the Harbor Bay or Nassau Stationers on Rosetta Street or Chapter 1 at COB or at Coral News and Gifts in the domestic section of the Linden Pinland Airport. Let me tell you, man, you will never regret it. This kind of information that you get in this book is really invaluable. It's just terrific stuff. Good sports history, true and factual, you know. So I urge you, just go and get it and keep a copy and even give your friends a copy. And you know, more than one reason I am more excited about having this book. Look at page 200. And you will see me there in live and living color performing. Number 200, you will see Bernard F. Hanna performing, and that is my fulfillment, one of my big fulfillment of having this book.
Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Do you want an issue raised? We're on the clock. Do you want to share a solution? We're on the clock. Do you want to show your culture? Well, we're on the clock. On the Clock gives you the opportunity to share your concerns, questions, and solutions with the public. We dive into the stories, we identify the issues, we engage the people, organizations, and institutions that keep the country running. Beginning Monday, February 1st, On the Clock with Aaron Green, weekdays, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, talking about my best friend Bernard B.H. Hanna. Well, we were members of the Pioneers Club. You all never heard about the Pioneers? Came up in, that would have been in, early in the game. It was actually people around the Centerville area and the Pioneers between Montrose Avenue and Mount Royal Avenue. And Tommy Robinson joined the club. We had Hugh Bullard join the club. Hugh Bullard was at St. Augustine's, and he was one of the reasons I went, he and Malcolm Adley, because Hugh Bullard ran the 400 meters in Rome. And then we're talking about, well, of course, the Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, who had he had a path where he ran from the other side of the road unto his yard and jump. And he was one of the best triple jumpers the Bahamas ever had. He was the first one to get a medal in the triple jump. That was at the Central American and Caribbean Games some years earlier. And that was when he was 21. And it was the Jamaican independence time. So he was there, and, George Colley, a number of athletes, Frank Ramming, Timothy Barrett, I think, but a number of great performers. But with B.H. Hanna, he was a great runner for the Pioneers, runs distance races. And right now, he said that nobody over 50 could beat him running. And he is going to be 77 in August. That's what he says, 77. But the thing about Edmonton, the book that he has, guess what? He is leading. And this is 20 years ago now. He is leading the Junkanoo group in Edmonton. And you see what page he's on. Oh, man. We did it to them. We did it to them. The closing. And it came on ESPN, I think it was, in Canada. And, well, of course, it went all over the world. Guess what? We were the toast. The mayor decided to have our Junkanoo group there. And then we had something carnival-like for people from our area. And guess what? The people from Trinidad who were so good, they were a joke to us. Just a joke. We won. We beat them. And then Royal Bank had something, and oh, heavens, I missed it because Debbie was running the 200 that night, and Debbie won. So we were not going to go to the social the social events that we had, people playing music and all of that. We were not going to do that because we needed to see Debbie win. And it's so she won because a young lady who ran in the Olympic Games, he found out that she was not tested positive, but she had her challenges, and so they took the medal away from her. And that is what I am talking about. So that is B.H. Hanna, my best friend. He is the best dancing on the street, Mr. Sting. He is the best insurance agent. He is the best Toastmaster, the best in everything. And when they have a song, Sting has a song that comes out every year, and they do extremely well. That's what I'm talking about. And after Junkanoo, they normally go down to West End, Grand Bahama, and put a little thing in the coffins of some of those students. And the same thing, they go up to some other place and do the same thing. They don't just put the money in their pockets. It is something where they give back. And that's what I am talking about. So I'm going to go to another break and watch for our editorial man, Sheldon Longley, to come in.
Hello from the Shell Fuel Labs, where my team of dedicated scientists develop shell fuels for your car.
For over 100 years, fuels innovation has been at the heart of everything we do.
Since our first ever branded petrol in 1907, we've broken records, supported Ferrari F1 to win Grand Prix, and pushed our fuels to the limit.
Now, every time you fill up your shell, your engine will benefit from our passion for innovation, helping you to get the most out of every tankful.
With over 100 years of quality fuels innovation,
you can be sure of Shell.
I am Bernard F. Hanna. All of you should know me as this thing. I've got the very first copy from Vancouver to Athens. You know, I'm so excited because to be the one to have the first copy, I know what it was for Hawk for over the years, his dedication and his excitement, his commitment to bring this bestseller book to us. And I'm excited to have in my possession not only one copy, but two copies from Vancouver to Athens. 50 years of Bahamian International Track and the Field Competition. This is great stuff. So I'm urging all of you to get your own copy. You could get it from Logos in the Harbor Bay, or Nassau Stationers on Rosetta Street, or Chapter 1 at COB, or at Coral News and Gifts in the domestic section of the Linden Pinland Airport. Let me tell you, man, you will never regret it. This kind of information that you get in this book is really invaluable. It's just terrific stuff. Good sports history, true and factual, you know. So I urge you, just go and get it and keep a copy and even give your friends a copy. And you know, more than one reason I am more excited about having this book. Look at page 200. And you will see me there in live and living color performing. Number 200, you will see Bernard F. Hanna performing, and that is my fulfillment, one of my big fulfillment of having this book.
More Smart Talk is coming to Guardian Radio. And so I'm inviting you to unleash your radio with me, Levan Miller, each weekday at 11, right here on Guardian 96.9 FM.
Beginning Monday, February 1st, you can catch Unleashed with Levan Miller weekdays at 11 a.m. here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Always on the go? Missed the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am encouraged. This number said, sir, you're not talking to yourself. You are talking to all of us here. And thank you ever so much. Well, I don't know if our editor will be able to come, but it's about nearly 7:15. So I will continue talking. Thank you ever so much. So, I said this is not a lecture series, not at all. I talked about the NC2As. I talked about the doping tech at the anti-doping testing at the Olympic Games, and somebody has to tell me that that ain't true. It got to be something wrong, got to be something wrong. And I will just encourage you to call in, text in, and tell me how you feel. I feel very good about the road to Tokyo. And as I said, we had some good crowds. Oh, somebody, I don't know what happened. Everybody is hearing that you had to get vaccination to come into the studio. I mean, to the stadium. And I can't see why that happens. Many people don't have the vaccination. I'm waiting to get my second one next week. But, you expect everybody to have vaccination to go into the stadium. That doesn't make any sense. I guess it was a slip-up with somebody being excited about that, but that does not make any sense. And once again, we have to support our athletes, not just when the Olympic happens, when we're in the Bahamas. When they're in the Bahamas, you should come out to see them. I'm sure, I have to tell some people that they can't go to Tokyo for the World Championships in Eugene, Oregon. I will make my campaign every week that Bahamians should be able to go there. It will be the first opportunity for a World Championships to be held in the United States. There was a World Championships held, that I told you, in Canada. And it was very good. And we did very good in Edmonton. Other than just the competition, the junk canoe that we brought, and more than the junk canoe, we had artists, get our players singing and all of that at, we call it the Royal Bank Conclave there. And I mean, I feel bad that I was not able to go there, but I was there to be able to see the competition, an unbelievable competition, and plenty of Bahamians were there. So I'm assuming that Bahamians will go into Eugene, Oregon, that new track, in droves. But what I am wondering about, what is happening in that area now. It is hot, over 100 degrees. I know about going to New York and those kind of places where it tips 100 degrees. And you have to make sure that you stay out of the heat. Don't let anybody go to Vegas in the summer. I've been there in November, and that's a different thing than in the summer. I did go there in the summer, and actually, for all intents and purposes, I stayed in my room. And I took a cab to go and give some money to the Vegas people, I don't gamble very much. I just put a couple of things, and all I do is pull, and that's what I do. But I enjoyed myself in Vegas 2 times, but the first time was the best. The first time was definitely the best. And we met some people who we had met some years before in Toronto. So that's what I am talking about. And I'm going to have my last break. And if the Guardian sports editor doesn't come, we're just going to talk it on and close down. Yes, Neville. Yes. I don't know. Thingham will tell me. Sheldon will tell me if he come, but I don't know. I don't know, Neville. And you can't even call Mike.
Miss the show? You can now listen to Guardian Radio talk shows anytime, anywhere on Spotify and YouTube by searching Guardian Radio 96.9 FM or by entering the name of your favorite show. You can also listen by logging on to GuardianTalkRadio.com and clicking on the podcast tab. Guardian Radio, continuing to provide you with fresh news and smart talk anywhere, anytime, all day.
Well, I thank our producer, none other than Kermit Ramming, a good Catholic, as we called it. I was shocked and amazed when I go to events at Our Lady's and I see Kermit, a good Catholic. I don't know if it's anything to do with Pancho Ramming, but they're all Fox Hill people. I thank you, Kermit, and we are thanking Sun Oil, Our Homes, Sunshine Insurance, my bestseller book From Vancouver to Athens, 50 Years of Bahamian International Track and Field Competition, Freeman DeVoe of Pairdale, my good cousin, and all of our cousins are good. Kalina Insurance, where I have been a financial services representative for more than 50 years. And my business partner is none other than my daughter, Alexis Hannah. And the A is Alpheus, and the other A is Alexis. And we make up the A team. And the Garden of Eden, where Mr. Smith is, Mr. Smith, just remember that name, where you should rush at 5 p.m. every Friday evening with your family, friends, and anybody else who would wish to, who can be encouraged to come to enjoy the most wonderful sushi. Now you know that the curfew is at 11 o'clock, so you can leave there about 10 o'clock, and wherever you are on the island, you could leave at the Garden of Eden and get home. And just remember, Mr. Smith will take care of you. Thank you, and thank you ever so much.